All right, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Back again with another video. And, it's been a few days since the Andy Ruiz Anthony Joshua fight. And I still go back and watch it. And I've went back and watched it every day so far. Sometimes I watch it a couple times. And each time I watch the fight, I'm still in shock. It still hasn't set in what had happened on Saturday night. It's still a shock to me. And I think it was amazing that Andy Ruiz was able to come in on short notice, being so counted out in this fight. And you can go back and watch the reaction that Eric and I had during this fight when we were doing the live commentary video, him and I. When we were doing that, you could just see, how shocked we were in our reaction and how crazy we went when we, watching Andrew Ruiz do what he did on Saturday night. It was amazing. So you would think after all that, people would really appreciate what he's done. People would give him credit for what he's done. And most people here on YouTube, and even shout out to the UK fans, none of the UK fans have taken shots at Andrew Ruiz. They've given him his props. They haven't made any excuses. Well, they made excuses, but they still showed Andrew Ruiz the respect he deserves. But when you go on television and you hear some of these sports personalities talk, they're still fat shaming him. I was watching Teddy Atlas this morning do his podcast with I forget the guy he does it with, but it's a guy that actually follows boxing too. I don't know how he seems to be a big boxing fan, but whatever. I mean, they were talking about him, and the guy apologized and said, I'm sorry. I want to just give you an apology, Andrew Ruiz, for saying the things that I said to you before the fight. And then Teddy Atlas chimes in and he's like, well, he's still set back physical fitness 10 years, still has a 46-inch waistline. It's like, okay, we get it. I mean, I understand. All right, the guy's not a body beautiful, but like when is the fat shaming jokes gonna stop? I mean, we live in a society now where you really can't even say anything anymore, but it's okay to sit there and continue to bash this guy about his physical appearance. I mean, like how shallow is that? And I'm not trying to be a snowflake here, but I mean, the guy just won the heavyweight title of the world. He's not a joke, bro. He's not a joke. And then you hear Kevin Iole, and you hear guys like Thomas Hauser, guys who I would respect, who I would respect and think that, would know better. But even they are coming out and trying to discredit him by saying, "Oh well, he's really not He's not really the first Mexican heavyweight champion. I mean, he's really American. He was born here." Okay, but his parents were born in Mexico. Okay, he's of Mexican descent. He fought in the Olympic trials for Mexico. I mean, the guy's Mexican. Okay, when people hear my last name's Habib, they ask me, "What nationality are you?" They don't say, "Oh, you're American, right?" Obviously, we're all living in America, but we do have different nationalities because America is a country of immigrants. We already know all that. So the guy's Mexican. I just find it so odd that people who aren't Mexican are the ones trying to discredit him, because all the Mexican people I know, they're more than happy and honored to call Andy Ruiz the first Mexican heavyweight champion. And there's a video on YouTube of Julio Cesar Chavez watching the fight with a group of Mexican friends, and they were going crazy when Andy Ruiz won the title. So Andy Ruiz is being embraced by the Mexicans, and they have no problem saying that he is the first Mexican heavyweight champion. They have no problem being represented by him. So why should people who aren't Mexican feel the need to try and take that away from Andy Ruiz and discredit him? Look at that. He's the first Mexican heavyweight champion. Mexican descent. He's Mexican. He's got Mexican blood flowing through his body. It's that fucking simple. Just like I have Lebanese blood and Italian blood flowing through my body. Now, whether I'm standing on American soil or I'm standing in Italy or Lebanon, the blood that's flowing through my fucking veins is Lebanese blood and Italian blood. Okay? So that's the gist of it right there. And I really didn't want to give this guy any shine. People are telling me and talking to me about Stephen A. Smith and what do I think about his comments, blah, 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 blah. But Luke Thomas made an outstanding video today about Stephen A. Smith, and people like Stephen A. Smith, guys like Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless. These guys just say things just to get shock value. They want attention. They want views. They want clicks. They want to grab headlines, and they're going to say anything just to be controversial. But at some point, being controversial becomes being disrespectful. How could you sit there after watching one of the biggest upsets in sports history, probably the second biggest upset, in my opinion, arguably, in heavyweight boxing history, okay? Given the magnitude of this event, I mean, you could sit there and say Buster Douglas was a bigger underdog. Yeah, but when you look at Buster Douglas and you look at Mike Tyson, if you just look at the optics of it, like Buster Douglas was a big guy. He was in decent shape for the fight, and he looked like he could give Mike Tyson problems just by his physical dimensions. What we had in the ring the other night was like David versus Goliath. We had like Anthony Joshua, who was a Greek Adonis. And then we had like a smaller guy who, if you were to look at these guys and you didn't know who they were, you would say to yourself, Anthony Joshua is going to kill this guy. And make no bones about it. I'm going to come right out and say I gave Andrew Ruiz zero shot. Now, I knew he was a good fighter, but even knowing he was a good fighter, I still didn't think it was going to be enough. I thought he was going to get stopped in 6 rounds. And when he got knocked down by the left hook, I didn't think he was going to get up and be able to fire back like that. I thought he was going to get stopped, especially after he got hit with the right hand right after that. Okay, so make no mistake about it. Even though I knew people are coming out saying, I picked Anthony Joshua, but I knew this could happen. I knew he would give him whatever. Doesn't matter. You didn't pick him to win. No one thought he was going to win. I never disrespected him. I never made fun of his physical appearance. I never said he was a bad boxer. I thought he beat Joseph Parker. I did say that he would be a better opponent than Jarrell Miller, taking nothing away from Jarrell Miller. But even with all that being said, I gave him no shot. Okay? And he proved me wrong. And it's so funny because in a society where we give trophies now to people just for showing up, this guy showed up and he won. He didn't just show up. He showed up and he won. And people still are fat shaming him. People in the media, people, on sports TV shows and stuff, they're still fat shaming him. They're still writing articles and putting the word fat in them when they're describing this guy. I mean, even after this guy just won the heavyweight title. I mean, the guy's not a joke. He's the heavyweight fucking champion of the world. He has 4 belts. So getting back to Stephen A. Smith, I didn't want to really talk too much about him, but he's just such a clown. Like even Andre Ward called him out. They were all on First Take the other day. I think it was yesterday, and Andre Ward was part of the panel with Max Kellerman. And they're all trying to school him. And then he turns around, he's like, "Oh yeah, well I got it in a conversation, in a debate, a little battle with Andrew Ruiz on Twitter, and I had to educate him on what I actually meant. I never said the guy had no skills." Yeah, but it was the biggest night of the guy's career, and you put in a tweet, "What a disgrace." You can't say "what a disgrace" when you're describing something as great as what happened on Saturday night. That was not a disgrace. That was fucking history. Thank you, Joel. He says, another spontaneous show. Appreciate the work. Absolutely, no problem. So, I mean, again, like Luke Thomas said, shout out to Luke Thomas. He said that, Stephen A. Smith is basically a fucking sideshow. He just does it. He's a fraud. He just does it just for attention, does it for headlines. And ESPN wants him to do that. Fox wants Shannon Sharp to do what he does. And they want Skip Bayless to do what they do just so they can get views, just so they can get ratings. And this is what sports entertainment has become now. When you watch these shows, these guys are not going to give you any substantive opinions. They're not going to give you anything that really you could listen to listen to and really take it to heart, because it's not analytical, and it's not really good analysis. It's just shock jock bullshit. That's what these guys are giving you. They're gonna say whatever they want to say, just so everyone goes, "Oh, what are you talking about, Stephen A?" Tweet. Look how much feedback that tweet got. Whether or not it was positive or negative, it was still feedback. It's still people. It's still attention this guy's getting. And again, I'm giving him attention today, even though I didn't want to. But since I'm making a video, I might as well have pulled him into it, right? But I expected more from guys like Kevin Iole and Thomas Hauser, because they're sitting there questioning, "Oh, the guy's born in America. Is he really Mexican? Like, why are we calling him Mexican? He was born here." So it's like, why the fuck do you care? Thank you, Corey Lee Boxing. He says, "Can you hit the like button? Ruiz is a beast and wins part 2. I got you. I think he wins part 2 too, but it is what it is. I still don't want the fight in the UK. I'd love to see the fight in California or New York, or maybe even Vegas. But that's just it. Like people who are Mexican, why would they even have a fucking opinion? I could see if the Mexican people wanted to say something. That's their prerogative. Okay. I know some Mexicans weren't crazy about De La Hoya. They called him a Chicano, and they didn't accept him. Chicano, you're a Mexican. Do you accept Andrew Ruiz as the first Mexican heavyweight champion? Do you have a problem with that title? We don't know it's going to be in the UK. Stop it. Even Eddie Hearn said he didn't know it was going to be in the UK. We're not going to turn this into We're not going to turn this into the Beeb versus Eddie Hearn hour. It's not going to happen, Larry Merchant. It's not going to happen. I'm not saying it won't be in the UK, but it's not definite it's going to be in the UK. And if it is in the UK, it's a bad look for Joshua, because he was supposed to come over here and make a statement. And now that he came over here and he couldn't make a statement, what's he going to do? Run back to the UK? It's a bad look. He came here for a reason, to make a name for himself in America. So what are you going to do? Come to America one time, lose, and then never come back? Come on now. I just think it's a bad move if he doesn't come back here. That just it'll send a message that he can't. It'll send a message that he can't come over here and win. That's it. And he has to go. And then the only way he can win is he has to go back to the UK. And I'm not pissing on Joshua. No. He should come back to the scene of the crime then. He should come back to the scene of the crime and do it. You should come back to the scene of the crime and do it. Finish what you started. Your goal was to come here, make a name for yourself in America, make a statement on American soil. You did not do that. So if you want to come back from adversity, put yourself in the same exact situation where you failed and try to succeed in the same exact situation where you failed. And if you don't want the fight on Americans, and then so we can get poisoned again. We're not even going to entertain that now. If he's going to take a panic attack, or allegedly take a panic attack, allegedly I say, every time he fights outside of the UK, then what's that say about him? Deontay Wilder went to the UK. He went to the UK and he did the business. He did his job in the UK. So let's see. Dan the man, what's going on, buddy? He says, let's be real. Ruiz's team gets to control the terms in the rematch. Regardless of what the contract says, some people are trying to say that it's in the contract that Eddie Hearn has the choice of venue and the choice of location in the contract. I don't know. Well, again, people are laughing at Audley Harrison. They were laughing at Andy Ruiz before the fight too. So, same thing. Of course, AJ is your guy. That's fine. You can still ride with him. But something was wrong, and he has to prove that he can win in America, or he'll just be the champion of UK. That's all. No, it's not what Unrivaled Boxing Talking News. Oh, it's not in the contract? Oh, I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. I find it hard to believe that it would be in the contract, but again, I don't know. I don't know. But all I know is, again, I keep saying this, and I'm going to continue to say this. Al Heyman has control of the heavyweight division. He has the leverage now. I just don't see him giving in to everything Eddie Hearn wants in this rematch. I see him having a nice conversation with Andrew Ruiz, and he's gonna tell him, "Oh, Audley Harrison and Andrew Ruiz, same thing." Audley Harrison was an Olympic gold medalist. He had a great amateur pedigree. Deontay Wilder was very green at the time. I think it's comparable. That's just my opinion. Obviously, hindsight is 2020, and Andy Ruiz is a much better professional fighter than Audley Harrison was. But again, Audley Harrison, when he first started fighting, he had some hype behind him. He's a gold medalist. And Deontay Wilder, that was very early in his career. You know? Okay. But again, I don't know if he was 45. That's fine. But I'm just saying, he was still away from home, and he fought a huge underdog, just like Anthony Joshua fought a huge underdog, and he had no problems fighting away from home, where it looked like, I don't know what the odds were, 250 to 1, I don't know. But it is what it is. Wilder did not freeze up on UK soil. He had no problem fighting away from home. That's all. Joshua looked uncomfortable doing it. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's all. That's all I'm trying to make. Can you compare the two fighters? No. Obviously, Andy Ruiz is a much better fighter than Audley Harrison. There's no question about that. I'm just trying to compare the situation. Either way, both guys were supposed to win by a blowout. I mean, we still thought in both fights the end result was going to be the same. We expected Deontay Wilder to blow Audley Harrison out of there, and we expected Anthony Joshua to blow Andy Ruiz out of there. Guess what? Only one of our expectations happened, not the other. So it is what it is. That's the comparison I'm trying to make. That's all. Benji says, I'm starting to think AJ is going to kill Ruiz in the rematch. Seems everyone already has written him off as a bum. No, I'm not going to say he's a bum, but this is what you need to understand. This is what you need to understand. Everyone expected a tough fight for AJ now because the fight's over. No one said all this before. Everyone picked AJ to knock Ruiz out under 6 rounds. Yeah, styles make fights now. So what was your pick? What was your pick then? What was your pick? You thought the fight was going to go the distance and it was going to be a split decision victory? Was it going to be a split decision victory for Joshua? Like, what was your prediction? Tell me what it is, and I'll believe you. I don't know what you said. You said Ruiz by TKO? I believe you. I retract my statement. I believe you because I respect what you say. I know you would not lie to me. If you said that, I believe you 110%, and you're one of the rare ones. See, I'm not. I believe you. And I know you would get me the link. You're an honorable person. Some people are saying it that I know that were in the chat the other day, and they picked AJ to blow Ruiz out, and now they're saying they expected it was going to be a tough fight. So, but I know you would not lie about it. I know you would not lie about it. So I believe you if you say that. You're probably the only you're the second person that I've talked to that actually picked Ruiz. You're the second person. There's only two people that I out of probably 1,000 people that I've talked to in the chat that pick Ruiz. So, but I believe you. I do believe you. That's fine. That was funny, huh, Nelson? That was crazy. And you know what's crazy? Unrivaled Boxing Talking News. I did the same thing when Pacquiao fought De La Hoya. When the fight was first announced, I thought it was a gross mismatch for De La Hoya. But then, like, when I started watching the 24/7s and I started seeing how De La Hoya looked, and then I started seeing how he had a black eye in sparring from Edwin Valero, and I heard that they sent Edwin Valero home, and I started hearing that things were like going really horrible for him in that camp. Then I switched to Manny Pacquiao like the last 10 days before the fight. I believe you. I believe you. You could have seen Anthony Joshua's face busted up and stuff, and you could have heard things, and I could see that because I did it with Pacquiao and De La Hoya. I changed my pick pretty much within 2 weeks of the fight after watching those 24/7s. And then people were like, "Oh, what are you stupid? You just because you're watching 24/7s, you're gonna make you pick up." Well, it is what it is. He didn't look right to me. Same thing with Sergio Martinez. Everyone, I knew right from the jump when I started seeing him with two knee braces on, and I started seeing him on the elliptical. I said, "There's no way he's beating Cotto. His legs are gone." I said that. So I believe you. I believe you, Unrivaled. I believe you. I believe you. But I don't know, man. But this whole thing with Andrew Ruiz, the fat shaming, he was on Jimmy Kimmel last night, man. He did a good job on Jimmy Kimmel. He looked like he's taking it all in now, and you would think a guy like that who's never really been in the limelight would be nervous and stuff, but he seemed pretty cool and chill on Jimmy Kimmel last night, man. I'm real happy for the dude, man. How can you not like the guy? Like the first thing he says afterwards during the interview, he said, "Mom," he said, now we don't have to live like we used to. We made it." He's thinking of his family first. Like how can you not like admire a guy like that? Yeah, I'm picking Ruiz in the rematch, but if it's in the UK, I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be a little bit. It's gonna make me be a little skeptical about it, but I'll still ride with him. I don't like the fight. I don't like the rematch being in the UK. I really don't. Chakal says Morales and Barrera said it's the greatest victory in Mexican boxing. Marquez was the only soured one saying his victory over. Did he say that? Wow, did Marquez really say that? Wow, that's crazy. It's funny too though, because when Marquez beat Pacquiao, that wasn't even for a title, I don't think. No, it wasn't. But you know what? I had Pacquiao out of all four of those fights. I only had Pacquiao winning the first one. I had Marquez winning the second, the third, and the fourth. I really did. I didn't think Pacquiao won more than one of those fights. Yes, because I got you. So he's saying was Pacquiao was Pacquiao pound for pound at that point? Because Floyd was still fighting though. Floyd was still fighting. Wasn't Floyd pound for pound number one and Pacquiao was number two at that point? I thought Floyd was number one, and Pacquiao was number two. That's what I thought. Yeah. All right. So okay, Chikal says which he has a point, but come on, man, it's a heavyweight title, bro. Yeah, and not only that, he wasn't he wasn't as big an underdog as Ruiz was, and he was number three. Yeah, Marquez was in the top five pound for pound for a long time. Did I scream like that? Not like that. I went. I screamed like I'll tell you exactly what I did. I sounded like Roy Jones. And when Roy Jones went, whoa! That's pretty much what I did. That's pretty much what I did. You know why? Because like Marquez, I picked Marquez to win. I picked Marquez each time Marquez fought Pacquiao. I always picked Marquez to win the fight, except for the first one, because you know, I was kind of favoring Pacquiao in the first one, but after that, after the first fight, I picked Marquez to win all three of those fights, so I kind of wasn't crazy surprised that he won, but I was surprised the way he won. I didn't think he was going to knock him out. There's no question about it. Ruiz is amazing. Charlie Boxing, thank you so much. He said Ruiz is amazing. He has gained a lot of UK fans. Yeah, yeah. He's getting a lot of love, man. He's getting a lot of love. I'm just getting sick of seeing these articles with these headlines about putting, mentioning him and putting, like they keep putting fat in the title and like again, like why do you have to focus on the guy's weight? Like like I just don't get it. Well, the difference between Centurion Sun says the difference between Douglas and this is that I think most people underrated Ruiz and overrated AJ, while Douglas was not a good fighter, but he beat Tyson, who was pretty much partying with women and abusing it. Yeah, I just think it's the optics, and I'm not the first one to say it. I mean, when you look at Douglas and Tyson, Douglas is a big guy. If you didn't know who the two guys were, you would say that Douglas could probably handle Tyson, but it was like David and Goliath in there on Saturday. Wow, you must be a diehard Joshua fan, Larry Merchant. Wow, that's crazy. Chikal says, dude, Barreras was saying everyone loves him in the UK after he beat the Prince. And one time he was in England and Joshua was training for a fight. He tried to get a meeting with him, thinking that Joshua. Okay, that's all it says. Thinking that Joshua. Okay. Will say no, but he greeted him on his gym and he was yelling Barrera and sang a song in Spanish. Okay. I mean, Joshua is a cool dude though, man. Like, he's a good guy, man. I just don't like the attitude leading up to the fight and just the demeanor after the fight because it just seemed like he just wasn't into it. But I can't say anything bad about Joshua. I just question if that fire and that desire is still there. And people want to say he quit. My whole opinion on that is his mind wanted to fight, but his body shut down on him. His mind said yes, his body said no. That's just the way I look at it. It's so funny how when someone loses, we have to always like denigrate them for losing and really kind of kick them when they're down and make it worse than it is. But the guy lost, he was hurt, whatever. You know, he's gonna come back and fight again. So yeah, I don't know. When he let Ruiz hold his belts, I was like, what the fuck? I told Derek that too. Like right when he did it, I texted Derek. I was like, what the fuck is he letting him hold his belts for? I said that. I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of too nice. You're getting this guy's trying to take food off your table, and you're just too friendly with him. Things I've seen leading up to that fight and even after that fight, I've never seen before. I have never seen a guy that happy after a loss. Number one, I have never seen another champion let let them hold their belts. Never seen that. Um, I've never seen somebody look relieved after they lost. Like even Eddie Hearn said that Joshua actually looked relieved after he lost. Like I've never seen a champion look relieved after they lost. Never. Never. I've never heard someone say that before about a champion. Oh, he looked relieved after he lost. And to me, that's a problem, man. Well, the reason why I said that haplotype was once he got hit in that temple, his legs were gone and he never got them back. Like he was like wobbly the whole fight. And he was trying to grab the ropes to keep himself balanced in the corner. He couldn't even stand up, to be honest with you. Then the ref is telling him, to move forward, and he's not moving forward. He's just staying in the corner holding the ropes. So that's the thing. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, again, there's a lot of pressure being the heavyweight champion. The pressure was too much for Tyson Fury, and he went into he had some anxiety and depression issues with it. Started taking drugs and drinking and gorging on food because of the pressure. So it can happen to anybody, It can happen to anybody. I still speculate that no matter what they say, that wasn't a great camp for AJ. That's the thing. Yeah, there was a lot. Like when people talked about AJ, like he had the whole weight of UK on his shoulders. There's no question about that. He was like, you could argue that he was like you guys correct me if I'm wrong. Is like he's the most popular UK fighter of all time? Like, did anyone like? I know Froch and Groves had that. What did they have? The 80,000 in Wembley or whatever. But like this guy's like got there quick, and he's done a lot of fights like that at Wembley and stuff. He sold out a lot of stadiums. He's done it more times than anyone, I would think. So, been successful and have a lot of game is difficult. That's why I admire Canelo. He's young and he's been dealing with a country that doesn't like him. However, the struggle comes with the paycheck. Absolutely. Yeah, but was Hatton as popular as this? Yeah, I saw that Big Baby Miller interview. You know what really bothered me about that Big Baby Miller interview? Really bothered me. He was trying to own up to it, but he really didn't own up to it. He's trying to say that he's still trying to tell us that the EPO and the HGH was given to him by a doctor for his elbow, which I didn't believe that. And then he was telling me the Cotarine or the GW 15, 16, whatever the fuck. He's trying to say that was in a supplement. And he used that same excuse the last time he got caught. And then he tries to say, well, people think, I was taking steroids to build muscle. We already knew you weren't taking steroids to build muscle. We didn't say you were taking steroids. We knew you were taking PEDs. And the reason you took those drugs was because you wanted to heal up. And then you took them for stamina. No one's saying that you took steroids to build muscle and to get bigger. Like who said that? And we didn't say you took steroids, most of us. Most of us would say you took PEDs. The word PEDs was used when describing what you took. Oh, everyone thinks I took steroids. Everyone thinks I took stuff to make me get more muscular. No one thought that. Not that no one I talked to. Everyone was questioning your stamina, being that heavy and being able to throw as many punches as you do without getting tired, which the EPO will help with, which the Cotarine will help with. You took stuff for stamina to help you train and not get tired. So you can go into the fight and throw a million punches and not get tired in round 12, 10, 11, and 12. You know? So like he thinks we're stupid. I thought that was very insulting and condescending, that whole interview. You know? What's up, Alex T? How you doing? Thank you, Al Heyman. Yeah, I just didn't understand. Like I'm sitting there saying, I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, does he think we're all fucking stupid? Do you really think we're fucking dumb? But there was some good points in that interview too, though. Like when he started talking about his family and stuff, I kind of, I'm not gonna, I don't want to shit on the guy and kick him when he's down, but he was fucking lying yesterday. We got to be honest about that. He was fucking lying yesterday. I don't think any. And you go and you look, you see all the dislikes on that video? He had a shitload of fucking dislikes there. He had a shit, like no one was failing that interview, man. No one was failing him in that interview. No one was. He had a fucking shitload of. I think there was like 60% dislikes and 40% likes. Georgie says, just for the record, Al Heyman is a reptilian alien. Some suspect Joshua got tired too quickly because of Vada. What are your thoughts? No, because he's gotten tired before. Joshua showed weaknesses before in fights, but never to this extent. Yeah, I don't want to kick him when he's down, but he's lying, bro. I mean, if I don't say he's lying, then I'd be either the stupidest person on the planet or the most naive person on the planet. And I don't think I'm either. So, like, I'm not gonna call him a name. I'm not gonna call him names and shit. I'm not gonna say he's this, he's that. He should never fight again. You know what I'm saying? But he did fucking lie. I mean, he did lie. I've never heard a doctor give somebody EPO for a fucking elbow injury, and that's what he's trying to fucking tell people. I mean, come on, bro. George says, as Big's beep took digs into the ribs. Nah, nah. I just think he was full of shit, man. You can do it, Corky. Ruiz was ranked number 7 in the world before knocking out Wilder. Ruiz wasn't some unranked bum. All right, all right. No one said Ruiz was. I didn't hear anyone call Ruiz a bum before this fight. I didn't hear anybody call him a bum before this fight. But no one. We just didn't. Most of us could not envision, him doing what he did. Alex T says, "Man, that interview is lame. He straight up lied in that interview." Yeah, I think he lied too. I really do. I don't think he was telling the truth in that interview. That's all. When he was, when he was talking, and Andy Ruiz gave him a shout out last night too, because Jimmy Kimmel was like talking about the guy that he was supposed to fight. What was his name? He's like, he goes, Gerald Miller. He goes, yeah. I mean, did you call him and thank him for letting you get the title? And he said, "Oh, we talk all the time. We talk," and even Big Baby Miller, when he was talking to Coogan yesterday, said that he talked to Andrew Reese a lot. So not Andrew Reese. Yeah, he said he talked to Andrew Reese a lot. Big Baby Miller and Tyson Fury are kind of tight. Like a lot of fighters are pretty cool with Big Baby Miller. Coogan Cassius from IFL TV Igloo 2 interviewed Big Baby Miller yesterday. Yeah, Miller will probably fight maybe in December. He'll get like a real soft touch. And they asked him, do you think you can patch things up with Eddie Hearn? And he said he understands why Eddie Hearn was mad, and he said all those things about him in the interviews. But he said he's still cool with Eddie Hearn, and he understands why he's mad and this and that. And he thinks that he could see. He seems to think he could repair the relationship between him and Eddie Hearn. I don't know. That'll be a tough one, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, I think I'm gonna wrap this one up, folks. I've got to get back to doing what I had to do later today. Got some shit to do today. But Yeah, if he did tell the truth, people would have given him credit. Have I seen the video where Miller teasing Stavern and they almost? Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Centurion son, I saw that. All right, guys. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for checking me out today. Thank you for always coming and watching the video. And make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Share the video, and tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. And always make sure you check out Mega Fit Meals and buy the T-shirt. Click both links in the description box. And check us out every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, for the Ringside Reporter Weekly Boxing Podcast Show. And until next time, Beeb is out. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.